What is up, everyone? Renfail here. Welcome to the channel for first-time viewers, and welcome back to Repeat Offenders. Today we are diving into Lord of the Rings Online, once again with some LOTRO news. It looks like with the upcoming update 37, we're getting the Mariner class, which sounds like a heck of a lot of fun, and River Hobbit. And I gotta admit, the idea of a River Hobbit has me salivating. This is one of the things I love about Lord of the Rings Online, and I think they've done a very good job on or with over the years. Is I've never gotten a character to max level in this game, despite playing it since launch. It's 16 years, and the reason is because they always give me so much fun stuff to do at lower levels that I'm constantly playing an alt, rolling a new character, bringing someone back from the alt vault, and throwing them into the mix and saying, I'd like to, there's new 30 to 40 content. I've got this level 30 character over here. There's new 90 level content. I've got a level 90 over there. Like, this game has done a very good job because for me, it's never been about getting to the end. It's never been about that destination. It's been about the journey of Middle Earth, and I think Lord of the Rings Online does that very well. So let me talk more about what this is actually about because I'm like rambling here. Um, Recently, Severlin and who's the executive producer up there at the top and Cordovan down here, hosted a live Q&A with the community, and they talked a lot about some of this stuff. So I've got the video playing behind me. You'll see some of the questions that popped up during the live stream. I would highly urge you to go watch it at your leisure because it is an hour long, and I'm going to be doing sort of a highlighted version. So the link to that is going to be down below. So if you love Lord of the Rings Online, or you want more LOTRO news, or you want to just sit down and listen to these guys, I was not able to get there live, so it's nice that they have it back up on YouTube for a replay, and you can go through and watch things at your leisure. I find that this is one of the reasons I enjoy Lord of the Rings Online beyond just a game, and it's one of the reasons they're the few gaming channels whose social media I actively follow because they do a good job. They've retweeted my stuff multiple times. They've included my videos in their newsletter. Like even when I was doing the Lord of the Rings cooking in real life show with Chris for those 2 years that we did episodes in Mexico City, like they were sharing our stuff into the newsletter, and so they have a really good social media team, and they do a really good job of making the community feel like they're part of the community. I find like there's some other games I play where I've tried tweeting stuff on social media and I've been pretty diligent about it over the course of like 6 months, and not one peep ever from like their social media team. And it's like that is a hard fail, um, from your media team. Lotro has never done that, and I love because they'll sit down and talk about stuff like this. So I got my coffee. It's early, guys. So, the Q&A was with executive producer Rob Severlin Ciccolini, I always forget how to pronounce his last name, and Cordovan, Jerry Snook, to talk about upcoming game update 37. This expansion is going to be set in Umbar, and it's going to include the new class, the Mariner, and they also talked about when players can expect to see River Hobbits making their debut in the game. Now, first and foremost, somewhere here in the video, I'm gonna go find it. Yeah, they share off some of the concept art for the upcoming River Hobbits, and I think this looks really really cool. Obviously, we're gonna see simplified versions of those hairstyles in game, um, but I like what they're coming up with so far for the River Hobbits. I really like the look and feel of like, yeah, they're gonna be slightly bushier, not it's like it looks like a cool new variant on the Hobbit, and I don't remember if they say in the video which one they're drawing inspiration from, which line of the Hobbits. But anyway, here's some more concept art. These are going to be things that go into the houses and things that you're going to see when you're roaming around. It's a really cool blend of like elven and hobbit styles, I feel. These guys have a close affinity for, you know, the river and all things along with it, all the nature and everything else. I love the concept art here for this stuff. So I think more than anything else, for me, I mean, it's cool to get the new Mariner class, and there is some information about that, I believe, here. But I think the cool thing for me is just I like good concept art. So when I see stuff like this, it's like, oh yeah, that's awesome. Um, let's see here. The new class is going to be called the Mariner. The team mentioned that it's going to be a traditional DPS class with a type of like music system that they're calling sea shanties, which sounds to me a little bit like where the minstrel has gone. Um, because with the minstrel, you're using songs, and you can either use those songs to damage or heal, right? So if they just strip the heal element out of it and use this is the cool thing. So they're literally reusing a mechanic they already have built into the game, so that there's no programming time associated with creating a new system, right? All they have to do is, I'm oversimplifying here, but you copy and paste everything over from the minstrel, and you just get rid of the heals. That's literally what you do, and you could take those damage abilities that you've already got coded into the minstrel, which tell it to do this effect using this song for this duration or whatever. You do have to do some tweaking to those, but the core code is already there written. So all you're doing is copy paste, take ability one, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. All right, now edit 2, 3, 4, and 5 and make those into new original song related abilities, which we can now call sea shanties. It's a pretty brilliant way to use old technology and old mechanics that you have in the game and put a new spin on it. So I got nothing bad to say about the minstrel class or the mariner class. It sounds like a lot of fun. So more than likely, whenever this drops, you're gonna see me on my channel creating a mariner, and um, hopefully they'll be able to be. I'm assuming they'll be able to be river hobbits, because being a river hobbit mariner sounds like a lot of fun. I feel like I could have a lot of fun with that. Yeah. It says other changes are coming as well. There's a teased stat crunch in here. This is kind of, it sounds a little bit like what World of Warcraft did a few years ago, where they took everything that was, up to level 100 and whatever and squished it all down to level 50. They haven't said anything about level crunching though. They've just said stat crunching. And in the video, he talks about how right now, there's millions of points of damage being done, and it's ridiculous. So they're going to look to scrunch those numbers down, um, to make those numbers less big. So it'll be easier to see, oh, I'm doing 2,300 points of damage to the mob, not 2,450,766, blah, 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 blah. It's interesting. No one knows what it's going to look like, and testing those systems always comes with some bugs. Um, is there any other concept art? I forget if they shared any other concept art here in the. I'm looking here. They do. There's this one right here, which is another one of the. It's the outfits for the River Hobbits, which I think is really really cool. Um, dun, 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 dun. There's also some discussions about crafting. They're talking a little bit about separating the professions out of the vocations that they've been tied to for like 16 years, which that's a big undertaking. Like that, honestly, that's a huge undertaking. But if they could do that, I gotta say that would breathe new, fresh life into the crafting system for Lord of the Rings Online, because then you'd be able to pair any coupling that you wanted together, um, which would be like Star Wars: The Old Republic in that sense, or EverQuest 2, where you can go in and just pick all the things you want. Um, yeah, that's crazy to think about though. That's a big undertaking. It says there are going to be new pieces to craft when Update 37 drops, even though that's probably going to be under the current system. The Umbar region is going to be the exploration for the high end of that expansion. But they also confirmed during the Q&A that Western Gondor is going to be included in the expansion as well. Now, all of that sounds peachy, but I think the biggest complaint that I and many other people have is the lag that has really been an issue for this game for like the last. I would argue that it feels like it's been the last 2 to 3 years. Might have been even longer than that, but it's been at least 2 to 3. It's been at least 2, if not 3 years. I don't remember it from 4 years ago when I was playing with my brother, but the whole time I've been playing my Lore Master going through, that's been a 2 year journey. I've been longer than 2 years. I've been like 2.5 years working on my lore master, and it has been a lag fest the entire time. It's just constant choppiness, and I don't get that in any other game. And yeah, I'm running a slightly dated laptop at this point with a 1080 in it, but it used to run that game like I run Star Wars: Old Republic on max settings, and it's great. That's far more intensive on graphics than Lord of the Rings Online, and it used to work fine. So they did say, and it remains to be seen. It says the team is working on the lag that has plagued the MMO for years. And Severlin did tweet out recently that someone on the team has apparently identified a couple of issues that are causing lag in the game, and supposedly they're going to be dropping fixes on those things next week. Um, but who knows? They also mentioned that specifically it should help you when you're running delvings, which I don't do delvings, so that doesn't impact me. Um, but the lag fix would be a huge thing. Also, the music looping. Like every time you get to the end of a loop, the game will freeze for a couple of seconds sometimes, but it'll freeze for a split second and then move on to the next track. So maybe that's one of the things they're talking about. But yeah, the lag needs to be fixed. So it's good that they mentioned it, even if it takes them forever and a day to fix it. Um, I think this is going to be a really cool expansion. I saw Gondor renewed the other day and went, oh, I need to get a character up to cap. So the problem is here's what happened with. I'm gonna ramble for a bit, guys. Star Wars: The Old Republic and Lord of the Rings Online are two games that I've played since launch, but I played them in a very sporadic manner. So, I'll play hard Lord of the Rings Online for like 3 months, and then I'll play very casual for like a year and a half, year and a half. And that means casual means I might only log in a couple times a month. Sometimes there might be a few weeks where I don't log in, but eventually I always come back to the game and I'll sub for 3 months and I'll play. Sometimes it's been 6 months. Star Wars: The Republic, same thing. Now, in the recent case of Star Wars: The Republic, I skipped the Onslaught expansion and the Legacy of the Sith expansion, which covered about an 18-month window of time, and all the patch content that came between and even now, a year after Legacy of the Sith. So I finally decided to sub up to Star Wars: The Old Republic again for the first time in like 18 months, and I just blew through in about. It took me about 6 weeks of playing. I've been playing a lot of Star Wars: The Republic, but I've been playing other characters than that, just that one. But over the course of 6 weeks, I finally finished Onslaught, all the expansion, all the patch stuff that came before that, Legacy of the Sith, and the content up to the current, most recent patch, which dropped the other day, Old Wounds. And that was a lot of fun, and it took me about 6 weeks. And I'm looking at what I have to do in Lord of the Rings Online, and I think I'm in Osgiliath right now with my lore master. I think if I buckled down and played, there's at least two. I think there's 3 months of a journey as it stands right now for me to go through and play all of the rest of Gondor. I have to play through the Mordor expansion, which I've never done, and then I would need to go level up in the other regions. Um, I know that my channel really likes Lord of the Rings Online, along with Star Wars: The Republic, but I have been putting more time in Lord of the Rings, or excuse me, into Star Wars: The Republic recently because I've been in that swing. If you guys remember back like 2 years ago, I was doing Lord of the Rings Online constantly, like doing the Lord of the Rings Online cooking show. I was doing streaming this game constantly at the very beginning when I was really getting going streaming. Um, so I'm looking forward to making a return to Lord of the Rings Online as like my main jam. However, it's not going to happen anytime soon. I'll tell you why, but I do anticipate when this will come back around as my main game. What's up, everybody? Commercial break here. I got to give a shout out to our guild champions. It's the highest tier membership here on YouTube. We got Ancient Entity, Crazy as Relative, and Remy D. Thanks so much for your support. And of course, to all of the members here on YouTube, thanks for keeping me on the air full time. If you do like what you see and hear on my channel, don't forget to not only like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon, but please support. Consider me your Netflix, your Hulu, your Disney Plus, or HBO, whatever you want to call it. You can do memberships here on the channel starting at $3 a month. And of course, anytime you see me live or you watch a premiere, you can do super chats and stickers on those videos, and super thanks on any upload you see, which allows me to keep doing this full time and paying the bills. So from Chris and I and all of our rescue cats, we say thank you. let's get back to the video at hand. So right now I'm in the middle of Diablo 4, which has been a great game so far, but I'm only halfway through. Like I'm only level like 43 or 44. I'm already like 45 hours in. So I foresee that easily eating up 100 hours of my time over the rest of this month and into July. So June and July I've already got booked out with Diablo 4 along with ongoing Lord of the Rings Online and Star Wars Yoda Public content. I am continuing to play Lord of the Rings Online, but if you noticed I've been focused on getting my um, Hoblet Burglar up because I needed to do a burglar guide, and now I'm doing the Yonder Shire, which I've never done, which is low level content. So that journey is going to take me probably the rest of June and July to finish up my burglar, to do the Yonder Shire content, and just explore all of that. That's about a 2 month journey, doing guides along the way. Um, and then there's Star Wars Republic, where I'm currently working on, like, I've got the HK quest line to do. I've got Arms Tech to max out crafting. I've still got a lot more I need to do over the course of June and July in Star Wars Republic. So between Diablo 4, Lord of the Rings Online, Star Wars Republic, that's my main. Then August, that'll carry me through into August. Then in August, I have to start prepping for Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield, both of which are dropping within, like, depending on if I get early access or not, within a week or two of each other. So I'll be doing prep for those games and all the preparatory content starting in mid-August up until the launch of Baldur's Gate 3. I'll get about a week of that before Starfield drops, and then I'm going to be Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield for the rest of the year. That's easily going to be the rest of the year covering just those two games as my primaries. Now, will I still be cycling through Lord of the Rings and Star Wars: The Republic in those times? Absolutely, but those will fall to the back burner. No subs, playing, once every couple weeks, couple times a month, that kind of thing. Um, and then in the new year, depending on what kind of a window we have, because Avowed's coming out next year. I mean, these companies are starting to create games again that are single player games that offer 100-hour experiences, and that's amazing, and replayability, which is also amazing. So there's competition now for my time. Plus, as a content creator, I've found that I need to balance out a little bit. But I do want to clear, like, they have been creating amazing content in Lord of the Rings Online, for the post Mordor stuff. Like, it has been genuinely. This is I didn't really care about the dwarf stuff. I really didn't. The dwarven stuff was like, maybe I'll get to it one day, but not a big deal. The Gondor stuff and the Umbar stuff is, I love it because it's Numenorian, and I love that but they're gonna also distract me with the River Hobbits, man. So kudos to you, Standing Stones Games, for continuing to make Lord of the Rings Online a place that I want to continue to visit continually, and I can't wait until I can finally sink my teeth into the new content. Um, but it's going to be, I won't be able to get to the new stuff until, or to make that journey until 2024. And I'll just have to figure out when that's going to happen. It'll probably be, it might even be over the holidays. If I've gotten to the point where I'm starting to wear out my welcome with BG3 and Starfield by December, maybe we'll start. Maybe that could be a cool Christmas project, would be to dive into Lord of the Rings Online and just be like cruise through the holidays into the new year, working my way through the rest of Gondor up to Mordor and seeing how far I can get. And then, because they haven't given a timeline for this, but I'm assuming it's in the fall, or early next year. I haven't checked the timeline. Anyway, latest LOTRO news. Love you all. Thanks for following along. Like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. As always, tune into the live streams. Check out our Discord, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, stay safe and happy gaming, everybody.